Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Talk Virgin to Me. I am super excited about this next guest. I honestly feel like I say this stupid phrase every single time I say it, but I really am excited because he has been a client of the agencies now for a while. He's actually Kelly's client, which is amazing, but he has sailed with us a bazillion times. So, Kristjen, I welcome you to Talk Virgin to Me, and I thank you for joining me. So, thank you so much for joining, and I'm super excited to chat with you about Virgin.
Yeah, I'm really excited too. Thanks for having me on. I love Virgin and I love you guys, so I'm excited.
I love that. So, funny. So, how we met basically was through the group, right? Virgin Voyages, Cruise Tips and Deals, right?
Yep, that's right.
So that's how we met. That's how you became Kelly's client. Am I correct? Am I totally following that?
Yeah, okay. Just I think I DM'd her.
Oh, nice. That's I love how that sounds. I DM'd Kelly. But anyway, so then we hadn't sailed with you yet, but then when was our first sailing? Do you remember?
Girls Cruise, I think, was the first
was
time.
that the first? Yeah, you're right. That was our first, which doesn't yeah, which seems really strange. I have to be honest that you have been a client with us for a while. That was the first sailing. How funny, because it felt like we knew you by that point. So it was really cool to finally meet you. So I will say that. So thank you again for obviously working with us and joining me here, which I really appreciate it. But let's talk a little bit about you. So tell me, where do you hail from? Where do you live? And tell me about your life.
Yeah, so I'm currently living and working in Louisville, Kentucky. Yeah, it's fine. It's great. It's a nice little city. It's a little small, but it's good. Right. I'm working as a user experience designer, researcher, strategist, which basically means that I help design things, but I ensure that we are including the humans that we're actually making stuff for in the equation, right? So not awesome. Just designing stuff and throwing it at them and hoping and praying it works. We talk to them, define problems, and really make sure that we're making stuff that matters.
Oh, very cool. Well, awesome. And that job actually is kind of mobile, right? If I know.
Yeah, I'm in IT, so a lot of what I do, I can do remote.
Yeah. Right. Which is awesome. I didn't want to say remote because I wasn't sure if you truly didn't go into the office, but I knew that it moved with you, so I wasn't sure. Mm-hmm. So that's why I use mobile.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, very cool. So tell me, when did your love start for Virgin Voyages?
So the first time I cruised on Virgin was in October of 22. So
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they had been going for a year and a half or so.
Yeah.
That point. Yeah. So things have certainly changed, but they kind of hooked me immediately. And I hadn't really cruised as an adult before. So I was an extra virgin. I think I went on Royal or Carnival or something when I was 6.
Okay.
Tiny. I barely remember it. But so I had gone out on the first day for the sail away party, trying to find out what was going on, how this whole thing works. You know, am I going to have a good time or not? And it was raining, and I'll share just a couple pictures from this first sailing I was on. So it was raining that day. You can see people kind of starting to hide.
It's so like empty too, a little bit. Like it makes me giggle because it's not like that anymore.
Yeah. And people were unsure if they were going to still do the party and stuff, but it cleared up.
Oh, that's awesome.
And there was a rainbow during sail away.
Oh, I love that.
So it was kind of like kismet. It was like, oh hey, like, this is gonna be something really incredible, really amazing.
Oh, I love that.
Really meaningful. It was very strange.
Yeah, that is strange.
And this is kind of what sold it for me, but the clouds came back and the sky darkened and it started pouring rain while the DJ was playing.
Oh, really?
And a few of us jumped into the pool and started dancing.
Having the best time ever.
Dr. Ashley at the time from
Nurse was
dancing with us in the pool.
Oh, I loved her. Let's see her back there.
That whole initial sail away experience kind of sold Virgin for me. I felt like I could just let go, be myself,
Yeah.
hang out, do whatever, meet people. It was amazing.
I love that. I love that story. I love the first Virgin stories, I have to be honest, because obviously I have a few myself of what sold me. But what was the date again? You said you were in October 20.
October 22.
Okay. And what was the sailing? What was the itinerary?
I think it was the Cozumel, the
Oh, it
Riviera.
was?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you sail solo or were you with somebody?
Oh, I was solo.
You were solo. So I love that. So one of the things I do want to talk about and actually kind of focus on is a little bit of your solo sailing, because majority of your sailings are solo. And I love that about you because I'm sure it's had an evolution as well, because we all know that Virgin had an evolution of the solo sailor from day one to what it is now, honestly. And I would love to hear what you think is the difference between before and after, of course. So just a little bit of fun question. What number cruise are you on now? What I forget. You tell me, but I don't remember. Are you 11? Wait, hold on. Don't tell me. Was I right? 11?
I sailed 11 times. Yeah.
See, I knew. I actually went and tried to guess Tamika's too. I was like, all right, Tamika, what is yours? I guessed 6, but she was like 12. I was way off.
Wow.
But she was explaining that back in the day, I love when I say that, years ago, back in the day, that they had them on board every other sailing so that they could help with get lost team and teaching people to resell, sail again, basically.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So I didn't realize, I totally missed all that because I was counting the sailings that I knew she had been on. And then I had no idea about those other ones. So 11, I love that. So you're halfway to mine, basically.
I'll never catch up.
Maybe someday if I slow down. But yeah, that's super cool. 11's awesome. 11's a great number. So then you found us, I know we kind of touched on this a little bit, as a travel agency, you found us through the Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals page. And right. Had you ever used a TA before? Like, did you know what that experience was? Like, what drew you to Fabulous Adventures Travel?
I have a friend that is a TA, but I wasn't really sure exactly what they did. I don't know. There wasn't really a draw. So I had a lot of
charismatic personality, was it not?
Yeah. That was totally it. No, I had a lot of very late nights during COVID where I was kind of just falling into these different YouTube holes.
Yeah.
And Virgin Cruises showed up during one of them. And I just kind of got hooked on review videos and such. And I just on a whim started joining Facebook groups to try and learn more and get a better sense of like who sails on these boats. Because I had cruised before. And you all had the coolest, happeningest page at the time.
Oh, at the time, you're saying it's not the coolest anymore. So
No, I mean, it still is.
I'm just kidding.
When I joined it, you guys were already kicking butt at the Facebook group game. So I saw, you guys answering questions and being really helpful, and I thought, hey, why not? Let's just reach out and.
I love that.
And do it.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I thank you, and I know Kelly does too. I know she's not here, but I know that she very much appreciates you as a wonderful client. So we thank you a lot for that.
Thank you guys for putting up with me.
Oh my gosh, stop! No, honestly, I love it. You know that I giggle like you hear me always say, when you post those questions, it makes me giggle, and I go, he does that just to make me giggle and give me a hard time, which I love. I love it. Like if you give me a hard time in a jokingly way, I absolutely love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah,
I'm down for it. I'm there for it. It's awesome. I love it. So I love that story because had you ever used a TA before? You said no. Did you answer that question? Okay, yeah. So I love that because of the fact that obviously it's different to use a TA and to book on your own. So I do love that you tried it and you did it. So I appreciate that. So what of all the itineraries that you've done, what has been your favorite itinerary?
That is a tough question.
I know, it's so hard.
I think my favorite itinerary for the ports is the 8-night Eastern Caribbean. St. Croix, Puerto Plata.
Oh, yeah.
I just really love all 3 of those places. They're really nice. Yeah. You don't have to plan anything. You know, the ports are beautiful, and there's plenty to do right out there. 8 nights starts to feel a little long, though.
I know. I'm with you on that. Honestly, 7 nights, it's so funny because I'm so used to the 4 and 5 nighter turnarounds that I'm like, when we were on 7 nights for just recently for Sunsets and Lesser Antilles, I was like, oh man, we're still on board? Like, I liked it, don't get me wrong, but I still was like, I'm still on board? This is so crazy. Like, you just don't, you're not used to it. So yeah, 8 nights, I think I'd still be like, one more night.
I think 6 nights is kind of the perfect amount.
Yeah, I agree with you. I actually agree with you.
But I'm not the biggest fan of Rotan and Costa Maya, which is the 1 night
that's the 6 night
Miami that they have.
Yeah.
But I feel like I make the closest friendships on the 5 nights. On the 5
nights. Oh, interesting. So I always say this when people say I want to go on a party cruise, because obviously we get different inquiries all the time. So I get an inquiry that always tells me, you know, I want to go on a party cruise, and I'm like, okay, let me think this through. And I've started to realize that actually the 4-nighter is the party cruise.
Yes.
So like the Key West one is a party cruise. I think on your 5-nighters is where you're finding more couples and people that are chill. Not that there's no one chill on 4-nighters, but a little bit more chill, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more there for vacation on the 5-nighters. So I agree with you that you probably find more people on the 5-nighter.
Yeah, so I would completely agree with that too. 4-night definitely feels like a party. It's fast and furious and wild and fun. The 5 nights, it's a little more chill, but people still know that time is limited. So I have found, and every single cruise has different energy, different vibe, different people. But I have found that generally on the 5 nights, folks are a little bit more open to making friendships, to talking more than just about the cruise, right? Where you get 7-8 days, and then there's always tomorrow, right? And the cruise is over, and you're like, shoot, I should have talked to that person more. They seem really interesting.
Yeah, no, I totally hear you on that. The other thing too, I agree with that with the 7-nighter too, is you kind of get into a groove where you have a schedule that may not involve meeting people, because you're just kind of in this groove that you're like, all right, well now I've settled in. It's like being at home. So you're like, oh, I'm not going to go meet people. I'll just do my own thing. So yeah. So speaking of that, let's talk about sailing solo. Honestly, you've sailed solo every time. You said it was 2022, so that was almost 2 years ago. A year and a half ago ish was your first one. So how do you think the solo sailor has evolved on Virgin? Because even I think when you did it then, it was still, they had finally started a program, a solo say that fast, solo sailor kind of sort of journey, basically, is what we're going to call it. So what do you think is different from the beginning to the end? Or not end, but to where we're at now?
So the first time I sailed, I don't think there was anything.
Okay. So maybe there wasn't.
I don't recall there being anything whatsoever. Or maybe they had the meetup scheduled, but I don't recall anybody being there.
Advertised. Yeah.
I still met people, but it was more kind of like my choose your own adventure thing.
Yeah.
So I found people like with similar interests doing the same things every night, right? Going to the drinking events. The grog walk was really great for meeting people that first time. Dancing in the club every night. It would always be the same, 5, 6, 7 people that were still there at 2:00 in the morning. So we would all meet and eat at the galley at night.
Yeah.
But
so it was organic at the time.
Yeah. And like energy attracts like energy, right? So if you're there and be open, people will come to you.
Yeah.
But since then, they've started doing solo meetups, where on the first day, they'll have everyone either meet in the social club or at the athletic club. 30 minutes or so before the sail away toast starts. And now a Happenings cast member will have everyone kind of introduce each other. You get to learn a little bit. You can kind of like clock, like those are the ones that I think are going to be fun. And then usually there's somebody who like starts a WhatsApp chat or something, so all the solos
Oh, that's good.
stay connected.
Yeah.
So throughout the cruise, if you're looking for dinner because you didn't book your dinners,
Yeah.
you can say, hey, does anyone have space? I want to eat here, or willing to eat anywhere. What's everybody doing at this port tomorrow? Or who wants to come to the beach with me?
Yeah.
Let's all do shots at 9:00 before.
Wait, how come I don't get invited to shots at 9:00? I feel like that should be something yeah. I feel like that's something I should get invited to, shots at 9:00.
But then during the cruise, usually they have a couple other meetups, coffee meetups at like 10:30 in the morning. And if you're sailing solo, I would highly recommend that you go to one of those. It's a lot more chill. They might try and do something special for the solos too if you show up and stick around. Hint, hint. And they also do cocktail hour, I think.
Oh, there's a cocktail hour too? Oh,
yeah.
That's cool. I didn't realize that.
On these last couple cruises, though, out of San Juan, other than that first night, there wasn't anything for solos planned that I saw. And I think it's because the itineraries were so port heavy.
Yeah.
They didn't have time on the schedule. The happenings weren't available to do it.
Oh my gosh, that's interesting. That's really interesting because you still think that they would put, I don't know, maybe something where like you guys could just, like you said, a cocktail hour or something simple,
Yeah. I wonder if they've learned that it really is better to have somebody there to like host versus meet at 6:00 and like, we hope you find each other kind of thing.
Yeah,
like some of the other cruise lines do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's been awesome. Like the solo programming is good. I think they could probably do some more.
Yeah.
And we had talked in the past too, like book a table at dinner every night for the solos. And I forgot to mention they do plan dinner the first night for solos if you want. It's usually at Razzle Dazzle.
Yes, I remember you said that, which is nice.
You just show up. There's multiple tables that hold like 12 people a piece.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool. But you've met some of your good friends that you sail with now, like, right? Am I correct in that you met them on board and now you sail them? Were they all solo as well, or did you just meet them on board?
It's a mixture, honestly. It doesn't happen every cruise, but usually the solo group gets pretty tight.
Yeah.
And God, I must have like 10, 12 people now that I talk to on a regular basis that I
love that
on board, whether solo or otherwise.
Yeah.
And we're all talking about when we can sail again and hang out. And
yeah,
it's really cool.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I love that very much. I will say that Kristjen is known for being the only male on our Girls Gone Cruising, except for Joshua, who actually has to be there because he's my assistant. But Kristjen was the honorary Girls Gone Cruising mascot. No,
mascot.
Yeah. No, we were super happy to have you there. You actually, you and your mom sailed, which was super fun. And mom, yeah. And you're doing it again this year, which I'm very excited about. So I'm sure you've heard me say many times that we're changing Girls Gone Cruising just a tiny bit this year. Not really changing it, but I guess making it better. Maybe I should say, I don't know. But having two different journeys. And you did on that. You guys did the dessert crawl, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
How was that? Because we're thinking of removing it. Like, what are your thoughts? Like, we're thinking of not doing it this year. We're thinking of doing something different.
I thought it was fun.
Fun. Yeah, see, that's where we're going with it. I think we're removing it. So it's a good plan.
It was just a lot of dessert, as a dessert crawl would be.
Oh, interesting. How funny you say that, because we felt like it was only like 4 things, I think. How funny.
Yeah, but the cookie was like as big
the cookie was huge.
Right? You get
the cookie was huge.
Lime pie and there was a donut that was on there too.
Was there a donut too? Yeah. Yes, you're right. The donut. Yeah. The cookie, I actually requested to have one brought back for me, and I devoured that later.
Yeah.
I was like, please bring me a cookie back. But that's really cool. So yeah, we're changing it just a little bit. I was going to ask you, do you normally, when you sail, do Virgin excursions? This, by the way, let me just preface and stop there for a second. The dessert crawl was curated by Fabulous Adventures Travel. It was not a Virgin excursion. But anyways, so do you normally do Virgin excursions or shore things or what? Tell me.
I have done some Virgin shore things, and I will preface this by saying your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
I have generally not been a fan.
Okay. Interesting. Why? Tell me why. That's interesting.
Yeah. So the things that are supposed to be more like cultural, like about the people and the island and such, to me have felt kind of manufactured.
Oh, okay.
And a little like weird.
Yeah.
So I don't want to go into crazy detail, but I just like, if you're going to book one of those, maybe taper expectations.
Yeah.
And then I've done some cocktail crawls and things, and that one felt rushed, and the amount of alcohol we were given for the price we paid did not feel quite worth it.
Oh, yeah, that's
I did do some hiking through things, which was really lovely. I went up a volcano in St. Kitts. That was very cool. Though there's always something. We were promised lunch, and we were given banana bread, which is not lunch to me.
Oh no, yeah, that's not lunch.
Yeah, so
no. Where was that? Where was that?
St. Kitts.
Okay, what'd you do? Because we got some like weird banana bread, and I don't remember if we were supposed to get lunch. Now I think about it. What was it? What did you end up doing?
The volcano hike.
Oh, okay. No, we didn't do that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great hike. It was super hard. Like, absolutely gorgeous. It rained on us the whole time. I had a blast.
Oh, that's good. I was gonna say, but you know what? That was just a recent time, right? Mm-hmm. It was hot that day. So yeah, you're lucky it did rain on you, because obviously we were there at the same time. And you're lucky it did rain, because we did ATVs, and oh my goodness, I felt like my arms were burning, and I was like throwing sunscreen on because I was freaking out that I was like going to get burnt. Kelly ended up getting the tops of her hands burnt because she didn't think to put sunscreen on them.
Ooh, and she had her hands like this the whole time.
Yeah, we had our hands like this all. But anyway, so yeah, but I remember getting rained on a tiny bit. So you probably, being up there a little bit higher.
Yeah.
But that stinks that they were supposed to give you. Did you say that in the survey? Or do you not do the survey?
No.
Do you do the survey at all?
I always do the surveys.
Do you? I figured you would.
I always take note of the people who went a little extra for me, and I always mention them. And
oh, good.
Pro tip for folks, like there's always this argument about tipping on Virgin and whether you're allowed to or not.
That and the ducks.
Yeah, they would rather you write something nice about them in the survey after the fact than give them money, but they won't say no to money if you want to.
You're right. You're right. I agree with that 100%. I never thought about that too. You're correct in the sense that it's better that you give them the survey and you say something in the survey because it gets them extra benefits and whatnot.
Yeah. And don't be afraid to ask if you can just take a picture of their name tag.
Yeah.
They will let you. They know why.
Yeah. No, that's a good tip. We don't say that very often because honestly, Kelly and I are terrible with the surveys. We probably shouldn't be because we're on board all the time. Mm-hmm. But that is a great tip. I love it.
But back to the excursions, at least for me and like the way that I like to travel, I would say that if you want to do a shore thing, look at the stuff that's more active, like the ATVs, hiking, kayaking, stuff like that, because you know what it is you're getting yourself into, basically.
Yeah.
The cultural sightseeing kind of things, again, your mileage may vary.
Yeah.
I'm more the kind of traveler though that likes to just go somewhere with a backpack, and then I just walk around all day and explore, which is bizarre. None of my friends really understand why I like cruising on Virgin so much, because that's not really my personality.
Oh, really? Why?
Cruises.
Wait, why do they say that then? Tell me what
just like being stuck in one place, having very short periods of time.
Yeah.
in the ports.
Oh, yeah.
Just antithetical to the way that I typically travel, where I go off to like Europe for 3 weeks.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, but there's this element that Virgin, this magic, I think that people miss that Virgin has. And it is quite magical when you get on board. And I hate to use that word because of the fact that, it usually equates to another company. But
Which one?
yeah, but I do believe that there is a magic on board that happens, and I always say the magic. When you put adults at sea with a little bit of alcohol, all kinds of things will happen. Good, bad, and ugly sometimes, but it's usually all of that in one combined to fun, like super super fun.
I've thought about the magic a lot, and I compare it to the same feeling I had when I was in college. Everybody's on that ship for a good time, to vacation, for a singular purpose, right? Like you're at college to learn about stuff.
Yeah.
You might have a different major or whatever, right? Yeah. I might not drink alcohol, but I'm still here to have an amazing time. And that means everyone's energy is on the same kind of wavelength.
Yes.
Very open. There are no kids around, so they're not, worried about their kid like tripping in the hallway or somebody something to their family, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone's there for a shared experience and a good time, and that really elevates, the feeling of being able to just do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
Everyone is just there to have fun, to have a good time.
No, I agree with you 1,000% on that. And that's what I always say when people ask me, because, obviously we get people that come to us all the time that are, first timers and whatnot. And why do they want Virgin over Celebrity? So I know you've actually sailed recently on Celebrity, right? Am I right on that one?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your comparison? Like, what would you think would be, I mean, obviously given the obvious things that, it's just so different in a good way.
I thought Celebrity really wasn't too bad.
It's not bad. No. It's not bad at all.
The goal of that sailing for me was a little different than my usual Virgin sailing. I was working remote. We had talked about how I can work remote earlier. So I had booked a longer cruise that went to a bunch of places I had never been to. I will say, I guess it's obvious, the energy was much different. I would say a little sleepier. It was a longer cruise, so the average age was quite a bit higher. If Virgin's more like mid 40s on average, Celebrity was probably mid 60s.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But everything else was awesome on Celebrity. I mean, the events were great. The club night, there were like 15 of us that were dedicated.
That's so funny. You're like, and you're back again. So am I. Oh, good.
Yeah. I found my people, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, which is
really
nice.
What I wanted to do. But that energy on Celebrity is not the same. It's not that same kind of like, we're all here together kind of thing that Virgin has.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Tamika and I were talking about this earlier today about how even getting in the elevator, it's a different energy. Like people talk to you in the elevator, which is so funny. And I truly believe that because, I sail Royal a little bit more than Celebrity. And anything else, it's really just Royal. And so, the energy is just completely different, even when in the elevator, which is so funny because people will talk to you and, have conversations and whatnot. I keep telling people that I'm bringing this. I've been starting it for a while. I call it elevator karaoke, but I sometimes do it. Sometimes I don't, but I really think that I should do it a bit more. It's called elevator karaoke. And you basically, whoever's in there, you just say, all right, this is the elevator karaoke and we're going to sing a song, pick a song. And you should see the people that run out the door when the door opens. They're like, I'm out of here. I'm like, I'm not making you sing by yourself. We're all going to sing together as one.
Yeah. I'm a huge advocate for that. I try and start little mini dance parties on the elevators sometimes.
Oh, you do? Oh, see? All right. The elevator karaoke and the mini dance party.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, everybody, this is a high energy elevator. Like, who's excited about, vacation? And I can tell pretty quick, like, who knows what Virgin's about and who doesn't.
And who's like, what did I get myself into?
But I did try the same thing on Celebrity and on Princess when I sailed there, and
No.
I was looked at like I had, a third head or something.
Oh, yes. That I could totally understand 100%. That's funny. I don't even want to say it. Like, I could totally understand that. On Princess, I couldn't even imagine you doing that on Princess and what truly happened. I kind of wish I was a fly on the wall when that happened. See what happened. But I love that. I do love that you can compare the different cruise lines to Virgin and, give us your do you sail solo on those as well? I didn't mean to ask you that.
Celebrity, I was solo. On Princess, I took my mother to Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's all. I've only done one and one.
Okay. All right.
After Virgin, yeah.
All right. I love that. Well, that's super cool. All right. Well, then let's talk about some other fun things on Virgin, some other favorite things. So we talked about your favorite itinerary, and that was what did you say?
Eastern Caribbean.
Eastern Caribbean, that's right.
Right, Puerto Plata, San Juan. Mm-hmm.
Yes. All right. Well, I'm super excited to hear about what's your favorite restaurant.
Ooh, what is my favorite restaurant?
Yeah.
It's the toss-up.
I know. It's so hard. It's so hard.
Between Pink Agave and Test Kitchen.
Oh, Test Kitchen. Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm so impressed by you.
I know you love Test Kitchen too.
Test Kitchen's my all-time favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I love that. So obviously I'm with you on not Test Kitchen. And all right, here's the other good one. How many times have you jumped in the pool on Scarlet Night? Out of the 11 times, how many times have you gotten wet in your mouth?
Of my 11, I think there was only one cruise where I did not jump all the way in.
Really?
But I've always gotten in at least to dance in the pool.
Okay. So you're going to consider that. Okay. I'm with you.
Yeah.
All right. Then I guess mine's all then if you're going to say that because I'm always down with my feet just in the one
you
spot.
guys promised you were going to jump in with me and then didn't.
Oh, when did we really?
Together.
What's that?
I said every time we've sailed together.
Oh, shoot. You got to remind me of that. You got to say, Samantha, you promised me. All right. Girls cruise, we're jumping in.
Okay.
All right. Don't let me not do it. Okay.
I'm taking a note right now.
Oh, you should. Because here's why. But here's why. I'm going to tell you why. Wasn't it cold that night? I felt like it was a little chilly.
No, I felt fine.
Oh, really? Shoot, I don't know. Maybe I didn't have enough to drink.
Yeah. Look, listeners at home. We talked about how Virgin's like college, right? Like everyone's there to have a good time. I don't know. Someone famous, some rapper said YOLO, right? You only live once.
Mm-hmm.
Jump in the pool. Like it's super fun. Everyone's going to cheer for you when you do it. Like the vibe is amazing on Scarlet Night. Like just do it. Do it one time. If you hate it, you don't have to do it again. But who knows? Maybe you meet your soulmate in the water or, your new best friends who you cruise with 7 more times. Like you never know.
I love that. I agree. Jump in. I talked about this last night on the French Days and Bees and Nights. Jump in with your clothes on. Don't go and cheat and put your bathing suit on. Jump in with your clothes on.
Yes, agreed.
I've ruined a dress or two jumping in with my clothes on. But just don't ruin a Versace dress or anything like that, or a Gucci. Make sure that then you can change. Go ruin a Amazon dress or something.
Right.
But yeah, so that's cool. I love that. I love that you've at least been in every time. And then what is your favorite party?
Well, the de facto answer is Scarlet Night, but that's what everybody says. So I will say We Fancy.
You're gonna go. That's what
We Fancy.
Tamika said too. She said We Fancy.
Yeah, it's so awesome. And I don't think it always hits. It hasn't hit every time.
Yeah.
That I've been on board when they've had that party, but it is so fun. The whole gist is just like about feeling awesome for who you are. Like you should feel awesome for who you are, for what you bring to the table. Strut your stuff, walk down the runway while the happenings cast are like dancing and showing you off. Like it's awesome. It's so much fun. And you don't have to look fancy. It's about feeling fancy.
Yeah, that's true.
If you want to.
Yeah, exactly. Because they give you the opportunity. So they do say that you can wear sparkly and gold and whatnot because the color is really gold and sparkly that they feature at that party. But yeah, I agree with you. You don't have to be super fancy. Just be fancy. Be
Yeah.
yourself. So I love that. That's your favorite party. What's your favorite thing to do on board? What's your favorite activity? Or do either one? Yeah.
I have been so impressed by the alcohol classes that they
Oh,
have
yeah.
on board.
Okay, so what's your
Like,
favorite one?
I've learned so much. I have done the tequila and mezcal
Yeah, tequila. We just
tasting
did that one
in
too.
class like 7 times at this point, and I always learn something new because there's always different people doing it, a different mezcalier or a
Right.
different foodie happenings cast member. It's awesome, but the Negroni class is also really amazing. I did the champagne tasting.
Oh
And
my gosh, the champagne and bubbles and bites. Did you do that one?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I love bubbles and bites.
And
That's like one of my favorites.
I had never known anything about champagne before that class.
I
And
know, it's cool, right? You
like,
learn a ton. I didn't know anything about it either.
an appreciation I didn't have before.
Yeah, exactly. Same. Seriously.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Those are probably my favorite, but
Oh, that's cool.
everything on board is super fun.
Do you have a favorite drink? Like maybe that's not like, like club soda vodka or whatever, like something that like Virgin actually makes. Anything?
So it took me 11 cruises to find these or to try one of these, but the spritzers at the dock.
Really? At the dock. Okay, we're gonna have to do that next week.
So good. They're not super alcoholic, but they are delicious.
All right, I'm gonna have to try it.
But usually the first drink I get when I'm on board is also at the dock. It's the Golden Horizon.
Oh, gold. What's in that?
It's like an elevated tequila sunrise. It's tequila. I think there's passion fruit juice and on the top.
Okay, I'm gonna try that.
Lime wheel. It's delicious.
All right, I'm trying that. Golden. What'd you say? Sunrise?
Golden Horizon.
Golden Horizon. I'm so close. Yeah, no, I love that. The Grapevine there is one of my favorite. The other one that I love is the Scarlet Night, which is called High on Life, I think.
Yeah, with the edible sparkles.
Yeah, and the sparkles and the edible. Yes, when you go, wasn't it you that said that to me? You go, you have glitter in your drink. I was
and you're like, what do you mean?
I couldn't see it. I had no idea, and I freaking drank that drink so many times. I had no idea it had glitter in it. I just remember the feather, and I've played with the feather many times because, of course, it's a very fun prop after you're done drinking.
Yeah.
So, So, anyways, I love that. I'm gonna have to try that drink at the dock. What's your favorite place to hang out? Is it the dock?
Ooh, my favorite place to hang out. It depends on what I'm trying to do. If I'm working, there's this kind of hidden little event space that no one knows about called the Scene.
Yeah, the Scene. Yeah, I did a podcast up there.
Yeah, and
that's where you go and hang out.
I shouldn't tell people because they're gonna go sit in my spot. But it's really nice. It's a nice little hang spot.
It is, yeah.
They'll do meetings and stuff in there.
Yeah.
The dock or the athletic club for sail away is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
The coffee shop.
Have you ever gone to the dock for a sail away, or are you always up at sail away party? Because we did it once at the dock and I loved it. But it is it's very, very chill.
Yeah, I've gone there for sail away, usually on port days.
Okay, you mean sail away. Yeah. Sorry, I meant from Miami. Have you ever done it from Miami? My apologies.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I'm there for, no.
We did it once from the dock, and it's super chill, but it was fun. I don't know that I would ever do it again just because I love the sail away party. But it's gorgeous, obviously.
Yes. Oh, so. My other favorite hang spot is under the stairs at the roundabout. I Harry Potter a bit.
Oh, how funny.
I crawl up there and I sit.
In that one spot. Oh, I know what you're talking about. How funny. Oh, that's so funny. I love that. That's awesome. All right. Anything else I missed favorite wise? I'm trying to think. You normally sail. So as a solo sailor, actually, let's talk about this really quickly. As a solo sailor, you normally sail in Sea Terrace. Have you sailed in solo insider at all?
Yeah. So I usually sail in Sea Terrace. That's right. But I have done solo insider before, as well as solo Sea View. That was actually my first sailing was in the solo Sea View room.
Okay.
I was put into just a plain old insider one time.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, interesting. How funny that they do that a lot. They move people around a lot sometimes. It's funny. So you never got to experience a solo insider then?
No, I have.
Oh,
Yeah.
you did? Oh, okay. Sorry.
Stayed in the insider. It's totally fine. You know,
I think it's fine too.
it
I've never
works
stayed in it, but I think it's great.
it works for me because I'm hardly in there, right? And if I'm gonna go work or something, I can just leave the room and go work somewhere. But for a place to sleep and somewhere to, you know, bathe and brush my teeth and change clothes, like it's super fine, super workable.
Yeah.
In fact, I sleep better on the inside because there's no noise and it's super dark.
Yeah. That's what my husband says. He says the same thing. Like, he's always like, I want to be in the insider. I was like, well, see you later, because I'm not going to be in an insider. That's funny. But I love that. Well, thank you so much for answering all of my questions and chatting with me about Solo Sailor. I can't thank you enough. Is there anything else that you want to add, that if someone's a solo sailor and, you know, they're apprehensive about it or they don't know what to do, like, is there anything you want to add to that to, like, kind of just give them any tips or whatnot?
For other solo sailors?
Yeah.
I don't know. Just like go with intention to just have a good time.
Yeah.
And you'll have a good time. You know, like if you're usually a little bit shy, or I won't say introverted because that doesn't mean like socially awkward, but if you often don't like go up to people, use Virgin as an excuse to like try it, right?
Yeah.
Like go up and talk to somebody, say, hey, you know, how's it going? Where are you from? You might never see them again after your 4 or 5 or 7 or 8 nights. Like,
yeah,
the worst thing they'll do is say, I have a boyfriend, or like, I don't really want to talk to you or whatever, but there's another like 3,000 people that are all interesting and live amazing, wonderful lives, just like we do. And it's, you know, you never know what kind of.
And I agree with you that back to the same statement, that people seem to be a bit more friendly on the cruise, that I don't know that anyone's going to say, hey, go away, I don't want to speak to you. I think they will definitely entertain the fact that you're talking to them, because I can't tell you the amount of people that have come up to me, and I have entertained many hanging out and chatting with people, because that's just what happens. You know, you just talk to people, or you walk up to a bar and someone's standing there and, you know, you go to order and they're like, oh, what are you ordering? Like, you just have a nice conversation, and then you see that person, you know, a bazillion times throughout the rest of the cruise. So it's very cool. Like I said, magic, lots of magic that really works. So yeah, I love that. Well, thank you for that last little bit for Solo Sailors. Thank you again for joining. Also, thank you for being an awesome client. And of course, I always love when you harass me on my live.
Don't say harass.
I'm of course joking, you know that. Giving me a hard time. I do love that. So thank you very much. And we always leave, and you should know what we leave with my favorite phrase, but give me 1 second to say, if you are joining us for the first time, follow me and Samantha at Fabulous Adventures Travel. And also, if you don't have a Virgin Voyages group, join us at Virgin Voyages Cruise Tips and Deals on Facebook as well. So now we will leave you with our favorite phrase, which is, you float our boat. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. And I love that you knew the phrase, because I just can't thank you enough. So thank you again. All right. We'll see you guys later. Bye.